Be prepared, not just mentally but energetically and spiritually. The eclipse of March 29th was never meant to close the chapter, but to rip the cover off a hidden book. What seemed like a visual spectacle in the heavens was actually a divine signal, a cosmic keystroke that opened a new timeline. Something ancient, older than language, older than prophecy, was stirred from its slumber when the skies dimmed. That moment wasn't about shadows passing across the earth. It was about a veil being pulled back, exposing layers of truth that were buried beneath centuries of silence. While many viewed the eclipse as a one-day event, the spiritually attuned knew something was different. The air changed. The days felt disjointed. The nights carried whispers. A wound was left open, not a physical tear, but a spiritual fracture that allowed something to seep into this world. A presence, a force, a watching intelligence. Whatever it was, it didn't go back to sleep. It remained. And only a few sensitive souls could feel its gaze, like the sky itself had eyes, and they weren't blinking. This is not about weather phenomena or solar flares. It goes deeper than science, deeper than electromagnetic pulses or atmospheric anomalies. What we're dealing with now is resonance, an invisible vibration that was set in motion by the eclipse and has not ceased since. Every celestial event sends out ripples, but this was more than a ripple. It was a drumbeat echoing through the spine of the universe, and the echo hasn't faded. In fact, it's intensifying. And if you've been paying attention, you felt it, vibrating just beneath your skin, humming through your dreams, distorting your perception of time. Strange weather, spontaneous storms, erratic winds. Yes, those are surface effects. But there's more, an unshakable heaviness, a sense that time itself is dragging its feet. The clocks may tick forward, but the feeling is like moving through water. Every task feels harder. Every decision takes longer. Something shifted in the collective field, and those attuned to energy can tell, we didn't walk away from the eclipse. It attached itself to us. It followed us home like a shadow that now stretches across everything. In the days leading up to now, astronomers noticed something unusual. A sunspot that had vanished has returned. But not as it was, it's flaring with renewed strength, as though it has gathered information from its journey around the far side of the sun. It shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be this active. But here it is, alive, flaring, and strangely sentient. This sunspot isn't just a solar anomaly, it's a cosmic marker, a symbol, a portal of awareness in the body of the sun. Ancient cultures didn't see the sun as merely a celestial object. It was regarded as a divine watcher, a conscious eye, a keeper of rhythms and revelations. When the sun changed, it meant something larger had stirred in the heavens. This return, this volatile reappearance of the sunspot, is a message. Something has taken notice. The sun is not just shining, it is scanning. It is aware. And perhaps, in the language of light and fire, it's trying to communicate that it remembers what happened on March 29th, and it's preparing to act again. If you found it hard to function, if your motivation has vanished into the fog, you're not alone. The post-eclipse phase isn't about failure or fatigue, it's about buffering. Imagine your soul as software receiving a massive update, and during this process, everything else slows down. Your mind might still want to achieve, your body might try to push forward, but your spirit has paused, mid-transition, waiting for the full transmission to land. This is not depression. This is not apathy. This is interference from something greater. Something is jamming the regular signal of life, not as a punishment, but as divine pause. You are being kept still, not to test your patience, but to calibrate your frequency. Just like a seed beneath the soil isn't dormant, but undergoing invisible transformation, you too are undergoing something profound. You're in a cosmic holding pattern because the energetic terrain ahead hasn't fully stabilized. And until it does, everything around you, and within you, will continue to feel disjointed, offbeat, and suspended in time. What we are living through now is spiritual fallout. After a nuclear event, radiation lingers, unseen but dangerously active. The eclipse was a spiritual detonation, and now we are walking through the unseen debris. The silence many feel isn't emptiness, it's density. A dense field of recalibration surrounds the earth. Sensitive souls are the first to pick up on it, often hearing it as a hum, a tone, a frequency that wasn't there before. This is not imagination. It's intuition responding to a shift in the invisible infrastructure of reality. Dreams have grown more vivid, more symbolic, because the veil between dimensions has thinned. Some are dreaming of places they've never been, or seeing events that feel like echoes of future timelines. Others are feeling old memories surfacing, emotions long buried rising like smoke from the ashes. This isn't a glitch. This is your consciousness adjusting to a new bandwidth. Healing is not the task. Reflection is not the task. Adaptation is the mission. You're being prepared for a reality that hasn't stabilized yet. Imagine trying to walk through syrup. That's what this feels like. Tasks take longer. Words escape you. Plans don't flow. It's as if something invisible is pushing back against movement. Many are mistaking this for personal failure, mental fatigue, or lack of drive. But that's not what this is. The frequency of the planet has shifted, and we are swimming in a new energetic soup. The old frequency is gone, but the new one hasn't fully integrated yet, leaving us suspended in the unknown. This shift isn't psychological, it's environmental. The very air between moments has changed. The space between thoughts, the gap between breaths, the silence between words, these are the thresholds that have shifted. And those who live in awareness of subtle energies are the first to notice. Empaths, sensitives, intuitives, you are not losing your mind. You are perceiving the early ripples of something the rest of the world will only understand when it becomes too obvious to ignore. Let's be clear, the eclipse was not simply a visual phenomenon, it was a reset command. Imagine reality as a massive operating system. The eclipse sent a signal to interrupt the loop. A divine broadcast broke through the noise, halting cycles that have been playing for generations. For many, the patterns they've been stuck in, whether emotional, spiritual, or generational, have begun to dissolve. It might feel like your identity is coming undone, but it's not falling apart. It's breaking free. This isn't about small shifts. This is about the dismantling of the old software that governed your life. If you've been feeling lost, uncertain, or off-path, take heart. That means the old programming is no longer controlling you. You are off-script for a reason. The trance is lifting, and with it, the illusion of permanence. The real work of awakening doesn't begin when you feel ready. It begins when everything familiar stops working. That time is now. This lag, this delay, this strange sense of time stretching, is not a mistake. It's divine buffering. You're in the loading screen between who you were and who you are becoming. And the reason you can't force productivity right now is because you're not meant to be producing, you're meant to be listening. The pause is sacred. The stillness is the womb. You're not in a void, you're in a chrysalis. Soon, there will be a surge. An acceleration. The energy that's been gathering since March is about to strike. And when it does, there will be no time to plan. You'll either be ready, or you'll be overwhelmed. That's why this pause is so important. It's not the universe ignoring you. It's the universe protecting you, calibrating you, preparing you. So let go of the guilt. You are exactly where you need to be, still, silent, sacred. Here's what no one is talking about. This sunspot didn't just randomly show back up. It waited. It circled the hidden side of the sun, out of sight, only to re-emerge precisely when the Earth was still buzzing with the residue of the eclipse. That's not just physics. That's intention. In ancient cosmology, nothing in the heavens moved without meaning. The stars were seen as messengers, and the sun as a divine eye, sometimes open, sometimes hidden, always watching. This isn't paranoia. This is pattern recognition. We are being observed, not by machines but by energy, by forces older than time. And what was awakened in March didn't just disrupt reality, it summoned attention. Cosmic intelligences are watching, listening, measuring our reaction, not to judge us, but to determine readiness. Something saw what happened during the eclipse, and now it has returned for inspection. So if you've been calling yourself lazy, unmotivated, or lost, stop. You are not malfunctioning. You are not regressing. You are in transition. You are caught in a field of suspended motion because reality itself hasn't finished shifting. Transformation doesn't always arrive in the form of chaos or fire. Sometimes, the greatest changes come in quiet, in stillness, in the holy hush before the thunder. And this silence, it's almost over. The energy is gathering again. The solar winds are rising. The hum is returning to a roar. And when it hits, nothing will remain the same. So rest now. Anchor yourself. Listen to what your soul is whispering. Because the wave that's coming is the one that finally takes us forward.